On Go Radio now, it's a Celtic fan. It's David who's on the line. Good evening, David.
Good evening, panel. How is everybody?
Hi, David. All good, thanks.
Good. Yep, still in the summer gear with the weather. It's been fantastic, isn't it? Yeah.
It's been crazy, isn't it? It's been crazy. I got all my shorts back out of the wardrobe.
Just what we needed, David. Just what we needed. Some September sun.
Right.
Don't give Craig any ideas over the shorts. Yeah.
I'm sure he's got better legs than me. I'll tell you that.
So, David, what's in your mind? You're a Celtic fan.
I'm a Celtic fan, yeah. And before I make this point, I'm not on, to take a mickey here. This isn't me having a laugh. This is honest, right?
Okay.
I find it absolutely ludicrous at this stage of the season with a couple of games, a handful of games gone, that, people are calling for managers' heads. I just want to make a point, and if I think back to when Ange Postecoglou first came in the door in Celtic in his first 6 games, and how bad a start that was, and everybody was shouting for his head, and look what he turned out to be, so I know Beale's had maybe a season under his belt, but he's not really had a season with his team. And this is a new team he's got on the park. He's signed some fantastic players, I think, to be fair to him. And he should be allowed the time to get these things settled. That game could have went either way the other day. Celtic weren't at the races either. We got a good goal from a quality player, but it could easily have been 2-1 down at that point, and then everybody would have been singing, Beale's praises, and everybody would have been shouting about Brendan Rodgers.
All right, who wants to take it first? Leanne?
Well, I would agree, David, to a point, and I mentioned it earlier. I think a number of Rangers fans are probably of the mindset that you've shown as even a Celtic fan tonight, is that it's early on in the season. He's brought in X amount of players. Let's see what they've got. Can we turn it around? Will things look to improve? The comparison with Ange Postecoglou is the fact that it was the first amount of games in the season, and it was a new job for Ange Postecoglou. It was not a new job for Michael Beale, and he's a manager that's been at the club for 3 previous seasons before that in a coaching capacity. So effectively he's been at the club for probably over 4 years now, both in 2 different spells. What I think you could see early on with Ange Postecoglou, and right away it was branded Ange Ball. You could see there was a change in the identity, a change in the style, and I think as soon as you see that, even from the media, and you look at the couple of players that he brought in, I think right away Kyogo lit up the league. He was outstanding. His movement was different to what you had seen. You could tell that there was a quality player there. I think when you started to look at the other signings that came in, you looked at them with real intrigue. It was players that were coming from the J League, that were player of the years, that were top goal scorers, that were the best young player. So they came with name tags that we were going, wow, how have we never heard of these players before? I think the reality is, when you look at Michael Beale and his recruitment, is you're looking at somebody with Sam Lammers that's got a really poor goal scoring record. You look at Danilo, that's been at X amount of clubs in a short period in time. You look at Sima, very similar. The list goes on. So I think the fact is that the fact is based in substance, and what you're seeing just now from Rangers and Michael Beale, there's not an awful lot of that to continue to back up the manager.
I see what you're saying, but I would argue that the money that Beale's had to spend is a lot less than the money that Ange Postecoglou had to spend with the community team, or even Brendan Rodgers for that matter, since he's come in. And before the Rangers game, Brendan Rodgers' head was getting shouted for from some quarters in Celtic support, because they couldn't see what Celtic were doing, and they couldn't see, we all had a kind of Ange Ball hangover, and I think Brendan got a lot of stick for that, because he's not time to engrave his way of playing back into that speed. And I think he's come into a situation now, guys, where it's just as difficult coming into a successful team, a team that's won the treble, and a team that's had, plaudits for the way that they play football, and try to engrave your style into that. So, I would argue the point that Beale, he's brought his players in, but really this is the first season when it's really his team, isn't it? Because last season it was kind of Van Bronckhorst's team, wasn't it? And he was trying to fill the gap.
Yeah, he came in November. Craig, what's your thoughts?
No,
for
I'll tell you.
David?
So my thoughts are, again, and Leanne, you brought a good point to the table. Good point.
Not too many compliments.
In terms
the
of
field going up.
Michael's obviously Michael's been at the club before. So again, David, you're a supporter of Celtic. What's important to you is to see entertaining football and to win trophies. So Michael's time at the football club, both as a coach and now as a manager, That's the currency he needs. Trophies won. And at the moment, that's not where it needs to be. The second big one, massive one for him, which is where he's struggling, and also his players are struggling with. Big games won. The important matches. So you look at, even, I know what you're saying about last season, it wasn't Michael's team, but Celtic in the semi-final and the final. This season with Michael's team that he's put in place and his squad, Champions League qualifier. Yes, PSV were a very, very good side. So you take that on the chin, but you then need to go and win the first Old Firm game, especially when it's at home against Celtic. And again, the team have come up short in that match. So I think that's where the doubt, the anger, the speculation, that's where it's all coming from.